Ah, nuts. Today, I'm going to show you how to make these two customized lightsabers for under $10 a piece. This is the first in a series of lightsaber builds, where the goal was to make something that had some really good feel to it, a customized lightsaber, so the individual could personalize it, and if there's a whole bunch of lightsabers on a table, they could pick theirs out. I wanted something that was easy to grab in the hand of either an adult or a child, and I wanted it to cost about as much as one that a real cheap one that you could find in the store. Plus, the cheap ones in the store are not really long enough, in my opinion. This is Qui-Gon Jinn's lightsaber that I bought 20 years ago. It lights up. This is when they made them kind of a little more ruggeder and tough, you can see. And this is kind of was the model I used to base mine on. And this one itself is bigger than most you'll find in the stores now. And it's over a foot. This is part of a 1.5 inch old vacuum. This one actually looks a little better, so that will be a finishing piece that goes into here like this. This is some pipe that I use to extend, so this will go in here like this. I'll show you how to do that. In there like that, and then we'll cut and slide this piece over there. This happens to be around 3 inches, and this is schedule 20. You can see it's not schedule 40, it's half the thickness. And then this is a piece of 1/2 inch PVC. And then you need some end cap, some sort of end cap. Here, this is something that I've been toying with. So we basically took just a standard one, I think it's 1.5 inch, spray painted it with some silver paint, and then used some marker, trying out different things. This is probably the most expensive part of the build. You actually have to buy this. You can buy this at Lowe's or Home Depot. There's the information. 1.25 inch by 12 inch. This is not 12 inches. I don't know what they're talking about. Going to Habitat, Humanity, Goodwill, getting one of those real cheap beat up fixtures actually gives it some character. And this is like brass, so very heavy, and it helps balance the lightsaber. A couple modifications. Originally I had 6 inches. I took 1 inch off. Reasoning behind that is I want to be able to put a flashlight in here, and this will be in the blade build. And so here is where I'm going to slide this on. This is about 5 to 6 reps. I actually tried it on. It's pretty good and stiff. That's why you see the grooves and the duct tape. So I will slide that on now like this, and make sure it goes all the way to the end like that. And now tape this other end. And this is a little thicker, so I'm imagining it's going to take a couple more wraps. Since there is a lip between the two pipes, and once again I want to make this really rugged and tough for combat, I've put about 10 wraps on there. And now it's time to slide this tube on. It's going to be very stiff over the silver part, and that's exactly what we want. Just twist it on. It'll go. But you notice that there's this gap here. It's black gap between silver. So I'm going to actually take some electrical tape and run some laps around here to kind of close that up. Kind of like what I did here. You can kind of see electrical tape right there. Here you can see I've cut it off. It's hard to cut this because it's got kind of a spiral groove to it. After playing with this a little more, I wasn't really happy the way it was going on, and I was a little concerned that this thing would play back and forth. So I actually went and taped the end here so that it wouldn't go anywhere. And then put a whole bunch of rounds of tape on there, took a straight edge and cut it flush. And now I'm going to screw it on there. Now to work for some detail. I'm going to make this unique. I'm going to use some paint. It's just metallic paint. kind of like the silver metallic pen. I'm going to go opposite on that, and I'm going to probably make this green. Once again, to change it up, make it a little more, less like plumbing, more like a customized lightsaber. This red button is going to go in right here, and as you can see, it's a pretty close fit. The grooves are a bit of a problem, so I'm just going to take a little file here and file that out just a little bit so the grooves can make it through. A little bit of filing and it's good to go. It's a nice flush mount, and then it's just a matter of putting this with the teeth down this way and tightening it up using some long needle nose pliers. Now for assembly. Button goes on over the hose. Like that. And this part, you don't need to tighten it down much. You can use this window here as your guide. The rubber gasket. And then the top. Bring that down a little bit until this is completely tight on the top. Here it is with the Sharpie permanent marker ultra fine point, where I just went through and did the details on that. I think it really adds a lot of depth to the grooves and makes it look more, I don't know, realistic. There you go. 2 lightsaber hilts. Both under $10 a piece. Stay tuned for future builds where I make lit, indestructible blades. Coming soon. Look below when they become available.